Hello everyone, it's the video I've kind of been dreading for a fortnight now. It's the I've gone back to work video. Summer is over, it's officially September. But I realised yesterday that actually this is probably the best time of year ever. I used to call this, well, back in the early podcast days when my nickname was Steve and not Sheepdog, I used to call this New Year's Steve because I always felt like summer kind of had the winding down, the year ended, everything was done and dusted, and then suddenly bang, football came back, TV shows came back, school came back, I went back to work, everything got different, everyone started ramping up. I feel like this is the busiest, most liveliest time of year every year without fail. So like me and Claire have been disagreeing because I think this is the best time of year. She thinks this is the worst time of year because it gets colder, darker, and so forth. But I'm saying to her, we've got Halloween, we've got Christmas, we've got bonfire night. All of the nice food and drink starts coming out in the ramp up to Christmas. Everyone gets presents, everyone gets new games, everyone gets new TV shows. I love this time of year and I'm well excited that it's finally here. Going back to work today was a bit of a shock to the system. Knowing that I had to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, I spent all night waking up constantly. Funnily enough, so did Claire. I think we were waking each other up. I think it was like a perpetuating thing where I'd wake up, look around, roll around for a bit, go back to sleep. She'd wake up and do it. I'd wake up and do it. It was just non-stop. She was telling me she was awake at 3 just pottering about, and I'm thinking, I'm pretty sure I was awake at 3:30 pottering about. So there we go. But no, I thought I'd do a quick recap of summer before I go on. Thinking it was pretty awesome, actually. Everyone said to me at work today, oh, how was your holiday? How was it? You know, how are you feeling? And all of this. And I think if you'd have said to me last night, did I feel rested? I'd have said, nah, not at all. I would have said the holiday felt nice and long. It definitely felt longer than last year when I went to America. That went by in a blink. But this felt like a proper 2-week solid doing very little type thing, and I love it. I felt much better today. Everyone said I was more on it. I was more away, just cracking jokes, getting on with it. I wrote like so many different bits and pieces at work, and I feel like I've actually figured out. So I was asked to come up with a job title and a job spec, and I'd been looking at it all the time for months trying to figure it out, and then weirdly last night I got like a spam email just telling me I didn't even sign up for this. If I did, it was years ago, but I sometimes get emails of local jobs, and a local company was looking for a communications manager, and it listed the things they did, and I was like, that's everything I do at work alongside my main job. So I'm trying to figure out a title that will cover both jobs now, because that's basically it. But I need to have a chat with him about it. But I was really excited then, because it's like I mentioned before about having different bubbles in my head, and when I solve a problem it releases some space. I feel like that has released a lot of space in terms of work that was bothering me for ages, and now it's gone. So I'm well happy with that. I feel like that was like a New Year's Steve miracle where I just bang, I needed to solve a problem and it happened out of the blue. I'm trying to explain to Claire that that's how all problems get solved for me. I potter along thinking about it, and out of the blue, boom, it comes together on its own. I just see the opportunity and that's it, it's done. So that's good. So I do feel quite good. I was worried about it, and it was good. Obviously, the big thing that I'd be remiss to not mention is I'm worried about Wednesday a little bit. We've got school coming up, and I don't know whether he's ready for it. I know Emily's fine for it. Ben's starting the new nursery, which he seems fine with. It's the one that Emily goes to. But sending Ollie into year 2 is making me very, very nervous. Things I'm looking forward to. This teacher seems really good at talking to him, figuring him out, listening to him. She seems really good at ringing me and telling me what's what, and not beating around the bush, not threatening us with silly stuff like, we're going to have to exclude him for this, and then she's the one who rings me and goes, no, we won't. Like, don't be silly, not even in a million years. I realised thinking about it yesterday that I'd never really heard from his last 2 teachers. It was always the head or her that rang me, this teacher. So when she's ringing me, it'll be fine, because I know her. She's taught Emily. She's the first one who has taught Emily. She was great, and I'm properly excited that he's going to be in there. But equally, I'm worried that his resilience is very low, and his tolerance for doing things is very low, and he's got very lethargic about doing hard things over the holidays. We've tried to get him to do the odd thing, but I'm slightly nervous that when they won't go straight in guns blazing with work, but I just don't want to ramp him straight up into sort of, even 7 out of 10 would probably be too much. I'd like to see him he's going to do half days, it'll be fine. But it's been nice doing 2 months without a single phone call, and because we never know exactly what's going to happen, and we never know what's going to cause the issue or what's going to set things off or how he's going to react to things. I'm just nervous that something's going to happen out of the blue, and it hasn't happened yet, so we'll see. I don't know. My mind is kind of in two places of what will be will be. It's got the EHCP now, so that's great. That should solve a lot of issues because they've said we've got the funding now, we've got the plan now, we'll follow the plan, let's go. That should be the answer. That should be it. The plan is there to say this is what you need to do it. So if it's not working, we update the plan. If that's not working, we look at options. But I'm hoping, I'm praying, I'm begging that they'll be able to help him and it will go right, and I won't have to do I don't have to do them, but I won't be constantly telling you about these things that have happened, because it's just not fun constantly having to figure it out. I just don't want him, bless him, to have to go for it. I want him to have a nice year. So fingers crossed, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. He seems happy. He seems quite excited. I was quite nervous that he wasn't excited about going back and it was making him upset, but he does seem quite looking forward to it. He went to a party the other week and loved it. He loves his teacher, so we'll see. He seems quite up for it. There's only a day off left, but yeah, it's just interesting to see how it's going to play out. We've got a really busy few months coming up, and it's quite a funny one actually. This is why this time of year is exciting, because I think we've got a few weeks where nothing's really going on, and then I've got Eurogamer and Comic-Con back to back. I've got passes for both, I believe. If I haven't, then I need to sort out Comic-Con. But we might be doing a live show at Eurogamer, which would be fun. We were going to apply to do a live show at Comic-Con, which is like a dream scenario, but I don't think we're doing it anymore. There's Ollie's birthday, there's my dad's birthday, which we probably won't see him for that, but you know, I always hope they'll come and visit or something. There's the school holidays. I got a ridiculously generous gift from one of the people who watch the show, Shaz. I've known her for a while now through Kev's channel as well. She sent us some leisure vouchers that we're going to put into going out with the kids for a day. We've got to look through the website and figured it out yet, but that'll be a good vlog. So thank you very much, Shaz. I really appreciate that. That's very kind of you. And I thought it'd be rude of me not to mention it on the videos themselves. I can't stress enough how kind that was. It was very surprised. It was like basically a birthday present for me, the kids, and Claire, which I thought was very, very kind. Thank you. So yeah, that'll be a video that we'll do sometime. I don't actually know, like we looked briefly, sometime between now and Christmas, I imagine we'll do it, but that's very exciting. It's something more to look forward to. It just feels really bizarre, kind of. I mean, it's really bizarre. I probably will call this Happy New Year, and it feels weird kind of saying that, but I genuinely feel like that is it. New Year's for me, normal New Year's, is a bit of a weird one because we sit at home, we watch telly, then it's Emily's birthday. We're like, oh, Happy New Year, happy birthday, Emily, let's crack on. So I feel like this is the buzz, this is the everything's ramping back up, life is coming back into the world, which is very bizarre because in nature, everything's going to sleep and disappearing. But I feel like, yeah, I'm right. The rest of everyone says to me, nah, that doesn't make much sense, and then they start seeing my point, and I think hopefully you'll see the same. This is where it all begins. I was going to reference the fact that because it's getting colder and we're going into autumn and winter, that my glasses wouldn't be steaming up constantly. But then as I started to sort of look, I noticed they were steaming up. I was looking at the corner of my eye and there it was, the layer of steam. So yeah, I can't wait for that to happen. I was going to go into the things that I'm aiming for in the rest of this year, my New Year's Steve resolutions, as I think I called them last year. The number one thing is I want to get my book finished. That's a first draft. I mean, I'm not realistically thinking I'm going to get it edited and everything by this year. I've been writing it. I haven't been talking about it loads, but I am kind of at a point where I know how it's going to end. I just need to get it done. And there's a couple of logistical bits in it that I'm like, how do I write this? How do I twist that right? And I think I just need to get on with it. I need, it's one of those, like I said before, problems just iron themselves out. And if I keep trying, it will come eventually. Sometimes I hear a conversation or see something on TV or whatever, and it's not the same thing, but it will inspire me to think of a resolution. I might be looking at a problem on a program and thinking they're going to do this, and then they don't do that. But I think, well, my idea was quite useful. So that's what I'm going to hopefully do. I feel like I need some sort of motivational thing to start following. I'm trying to think of the right word, but basically, I mean, long and short of it, what I used to do is listen to very cool podcasts about motivation and business and writing and being more productive and whatever. And I don't listen to any of them anymore. I don't listen to podcasts anymore. And I was thinking, wonder if there's any recommendations people can give me that will help me. I'll just listen to them. I want to be able to get out of the car and be like, I'm so ready to go, and then just tap, you know, or just have little ideas, or just feel like I'm being more, I don't know, like I'm making an effort to progress. Because at the moment I kind of sit listening to commercial radio, and it's starting to really get on my nerves. Some of the adverts that come on, and they always follow the same pattern. They're all doing that Sober for October advert now, and I hate it every year because it's like, ugh. It's just, I don't know, the bloke's voice does my head in, but it's just started, and I thought, no more radio till November. That's gone. I'm not listening to the radio until that man's voice is off. I hate it. I've got a plan of, well, I mentioned several times that I need to stop using my phone as a camera, because as you can probably see, it's a bit dark, and it's only going to get darker over the winter. Before I left the curtains open, the sunlight coming in, light it up. I have bought a lamp, but it looks complicated. I need to set it up. I worry that it's going to end up having a massive shadow behind me or something. I don't know. I need to set it up properly. But I'm thinking ultimately, if I'm going to be doing the day out with what Shaz has sent us and other days out, and if I want to start filming at events and stuff, I probably need to buy a moderately decent camera. At worst, I want to get it for Christmas. But I don't know where to start on that. I feel like I could ask Kev, but I worry his kit is so advanced and good that I don't want to get into him about nerdy rubbish stuff that's not that good. It's just amateur hour stuff, and it'll just be kind of like, last time we talked about it, it was like, these are the several £100 cameras that you can look at. To be fair, I've realised, as I'm saying this out loud, my friend Shelley watches this, and she at least used to work in a camera department at a company, so I don't know if she still does, but we can talk about that off air. If she watches this, she'll let me know, I'm sure. I'll leave it in her hands. But that's one of my aims. I need to sort that out, and I don't know what I'm doing with any of that, but I'm just thinking, I don't know what it is, actually. I think it really is this mythical made-up New Year's thing that I've got has set me off as like, yeah, I'm back in the game. I've had a rest. I've had 2 weeks off, and now I'm motivated to get on and do stuff. It's really bizarre. I did not feel this yesterday morning. I didn't feel this going to bed last night, but I feel like I've gone back. I spent a lot of time writing today. I must have written a good sort of 5,000 words or more at work. So, yeah, I feel pretty cool. And I want to get some stuff done. So, yeah, aims, sort out the vlog, sort out my book. Probably the same aims I had last year, to be fair. Beyond that, I don't really remember what else I said. But, yeah, cool. I'm in a good place. It's all good. I'll let you know how Wednesday goes. It's only half days for school. I don't want this to become another year of just me doing about school every other video and worrying about these things. It's not necessary as much now. Before it was more about, this is our journey towards getting EHCP, getting a diagnosis. There's bigger gaps between those. There's just bang, bang, bang steps before. It was a big issue and a big problem. But I feel like a lot of that should be covered by the EHCP, should be covered by the fact that we're on the ball. Yeah, things should be fine. I'm going to wrap up because my glasses are steaming up again. I wish I knew of a way to cure that because it is winding me up. If you have any suggestions, let me know. Other than that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Cheers. Hope you have a good week. Bye.